Welcome back, viewers. So now let us enter into this next segment and understand who is Devi Parashakti. The Dhyana Shloka for Devi Parashakti translates, I meditate on the great Empress. She is red in color and her eyes are full of compassion and holds the noose, the goad, the bow, and the flowered arrow in her hand. She is surrounded on all sides by powers such as Anima, and she is the self within me. Devi is the ultimate pure feminine consciousness. Parashakti is the cosmic mother. It is her cosmic womb from which billions and billions of universes come out and go in. Source where the Big Bang and black holes go on. Parashakti is the source, source Shakti, source energy, source power, from which all of us came, in which all of us are even now, in which all of us are going to merge, out of her extreme love and compassion. Parashakti herself is manifesting through the embodied form as the Nijavatara of the Supreme Concept of Buddhism, gracing us, answering all of our questions, attending to our prayers, giving boons, healing us, revealing our past, present, future, delivering profound spiritual truths, and ultimately giving us the experience of Paramashivoham itself. In the words of Devi Parashakti herself, raising in Omkara, expressing as the Vedas and Agamas, blossomed as Rimkara, filled as Parashodasi, living in the 40 triangles, the Kailasa Swamini, who is the Kailasa Tripura Chintamani, the Parashodasi, sitting as part of Paramashivan Parameshwari, who rules the world, Paramashakti, Manonmani, Meenakshi. As Nithyananda, I took Nijavatara here to give good boon to everyone, to bestow all goodness. Hiranyagarbha Swarupini, Brahmanda Yoni, Shami, Chandramauli, Rabala, Aparna, Uma, Parvati, Savitri, Navayamana, Samrajalakshmi, Parameshwari, raising in Omkara, blossoming as Shiva, Shiva manifesting as the source of existence, powers of existence, expression of existence, from the oneness of Om, blossoming into two as Prakriti and Purusha, blossoming as three Shaktis, Ichha, Kriya, and Jnana, growing as the four Vedas, expanding as the five Panchabhutas, beyond the six chakras, filled as the Gotras of the seven Rishis, as expanding as the eight directions, existing as the nine grahas, blossoming as the 10 indriyas, being as the 11 mudras. So how can we receive Devi Parashakti? In the words of the Supreme Concept of Hinduism itself, literally you are seeing Paramashivan Parashakti at that moment. She is there in your screen, so always receive her very traditionally. Keep 2 betel leaf, 1 banana, 1 betel nut, and 1 coin in front of the screen. Watch Devi. The coin is considered to be the traditional dakshina of the Hindu tradition. It can be even the lowest value in India. It can be even 1 paise. In the US, it can be even 1 cent. You can offer that to Devi. After the darshan is over, do the namaskar and eat the banana, the betel leaf, and the betel nut. Take it as prasadam immediately. Collect those coins and send them to the LA temple. This betel leaf, betel nut may look too small, but in a few days, it adds to your sentiment that really she is there. You will not take the Devi darshan for granted. Rituals will break your monotonous, unconscious mentality in life and raise you to the powerful cognition. This is how you can set up your tambulam with 2 betel leaf, 1 banana, 1 betel nut, and 1 coin. And you can offer this in front of your every single day to that you have Devi Darshan and receive the blessings and grace of Devi Parashakti in your life. So now with this, we will be entering into the next segment and understanding some of these sacred secrets revealed by Devi Parashakti in the Akashic reading. So we'll be right back, entering into the next segment. Now, let's understand the secret of Hindu birth as revealed by Devi Parashakti herself.
நன்றாய் கேட்டுக்கொள். உன் கேள்விக்கு உன்மூலமாம் இருக்கும் இந்துக்கள் எல்லோர்க்கும் அளிக்கின்றேன் உத்தீரம். 8 வாய்பத்தீரம். நன்றாய் கேளுங்கள். பிறப்பின் ரகசியத்தை பிறப்பிலா பெருமை உடைய பரமேஸ்வரி சொல்லுகின்றேன் கேளுங்கள். அண்டஜம், யோனிஜம், ஜலஜம், பீஜம் எனும் 4 விதமான பிறவிகளில் 84,000 யோனிகளில் பிறக்கும் பிறப்புகளிலேயே பெருமை வாய்ந்ததும் உத்தமமானதும் மனித பிறவி. நன்றாய் கேட்டுக்கொள். உன் கேள்விக்கு உன்மூலமாய் உலகெங்கும் இருக்கும் இந்துக்கள் எல்லோர்க்கும் அளிக்கின்றேன் உத்தீரம். 8 வாழ்ந்தால் உங்கள் வாழ்க்கை பத்தீரம். நன்றாய் கேளுங்கள். பிறப்பின் ரகசியத்தை பிறப்பிலா பெருமை உடைய பரமேஸ்வரி சொல்லுகின்றேன் கேளுங்கள். அண்டஜம், யோனிஜம், ஜலஜம், பீஜம் எனும் 4 விதமான பிறவிகளில் 84,000 யோனிகளில் பிறக்கும் பிறப்புகளிலேயே பெருமை வாய்ந்ததும் உத்தமமானதும் மனித பிறவி. அந்த மனித பிறவியிலும் பலமுறை பிறந்து உழன்று அரசியல், பொருளாதாரம், சுகபோகம், தர்மம், அர்த்தம், காமம் எனும் ஆசைகள், துக்கங்கள், அச்சங்கள் அனைத்திலும் அழன்று உழன்று இனி வேண்டாம் இப்பிறவி, வேண்டுவது மோட்சமே என்று முடிவெடுத்தோர்க்கு மட்டுமே ஹிந்து மத யோனிஜம், ஹிந்து பெற்றோர்க்கு பிறந்திடும் சனாதன ஹிந்து தர்ம யோனிஜம், மனித பிறவி உத்தமம், சனாதன ஹிந்து தர்ம மனித பிறவி உத்தமோத்தமம். இந்த உத்தமோத்தம பிறவி எடுத்த எல்லோருக்கும் ஜீவன் முக்த விஞ்ஞானத்தையும் சனாதன தர்மத்தையும் காக்கின்ற கடமையும் உண்டு, நன்மையெல்லாம் அனுபவிக்கும் உரிமையும் உண்டு. இந்த கடமையை செய்வோம் என்று சத்தியம் செய்ததனால்தான் அந்த உரிமை அளிக்கப்பட்டது. பூமிக்கு வந்தபின் மனம் மயங்கி மதிமயங்கி சனாதன தர்மம் காக்க மறந்ததனால் மாயை அவர்கள் உயிரை பறிக்கின்றாள். நன்றாய் புரிந்து கொள்ளுங்கள். உயிரை கொடுத்தாலும் தர்மத்தை காப்போம் என்று உறுதி எடுத்தவர்க்கே சனாதன ஹிந்து தர்ம யோனிஜம் அளிக்கின்றேன் யான். உடல் பெற்ற பிறகு ஊழிப் பெருவலியால் ஆசை அச்சங்களை உதறவிடாது உதறியும் விடாது சனாதன ஹிந்து தர்மம் காக்க மறந்தோரை உயிர் வாழத் தகுதியில்லாதவர் பட்டியலில் உடனடியாய் மாயை சேர்க்கின்றாள். அதனால் ராட்சசர்களும் அசுரர்களும் தானாகவே இவர்கள் உயிரை எடுக்கின்றார். நன்றாய் புரிந்து கொள்ளுங்கள். உயிரை கொடுத்தாலும் தர்மம் காப்போம் என்று நிற்பவர்க்கு நிலைத்திடும் வீரஸ்வர்க்கமும் கைலாச பதவியும் எக்காரணம் கொண்டும் தர்மம் காக்க மறந்த உத்தமோத்தம ஜனனமான சனாதன ஹிந்து ஜனனம் பெற்ற மக்களுக்கு இல்லை வேறு கதி. சனாதன ஹிந்து தர்ம மனித ஜனனம் உத்தமோத்தம மனித ஜனனம். உங்கள் உரிமை உலகில் அதிகம், உங்களுக்கு கடமையும் உலகில் பெரிது. தர்மத்தாலே கடமை, தர்மம் காக்காதார்க்கு உயிர் வாழும் உரிமை இல்லை. நன்றாய் புரிந்து கொள்ளுங்கள். உத்தமோத்தம பிறவியான சனாதன ஹிந்து தர்ம பிறவி எடுத்த எல்லோரும் புரிந்து கொள்ளுங்கள். உங்கள் வாழ்வின் முதற்கடமை தர்மம் காத்தல். தர்மம் காக்க தர்மம் உங்களை காக்கும். சனாதன ஹிந்து தர்மம் காக்க மறந்திட்டால் வாழும் உரிமையை நீங்கள் இழந்து விடுகின்றீர்கள். அதற்கு மேல் வாழ்ந்தென்ன அழிந்தென்ன? பூமிக்கு பாரம் குறையட்டும் என்று அசுரர்களும் ராட்சதர்களும் உங்களை உண்டு தீர்க்கின்றார்கள். அதையும் மாயை கண்டு சும்மாவிருப்பாள். பிரபஞ்ச ரகசியத்தை, பிறவியின் ரகசியத்தை உலகிற்கெல்லாம் உத்தரமாய் சொல்லிவிட்டேன். புரிந்து வாழ்வில் நடந்து உயிரை பத்திரமாய் பார்த்துக் கொள்ளுங்கள். அன்னை சொல்லும் அருள் சத்தியம் இது. ஓம் ஓம் ஓம்.
Let us look at the translation of Devi Parashakti's revelation about the sacred secret of Hindu birth.
நன்றா
So let us look at Devi Parashakti's revelation. mapped into English. Listen, Andajam, Yonijam, Velajam, Bijam. Like this, in 4 types of birth, in 84 lakh yonis, in all these births, the most greatest birth of them all is the human birth. Even in that, being born and toiled many times, after getting burnt and toiled in politics, in finance, in luxuries, in dharma, artha, kama, and those who decide of not wanting this birth, wanting only moksha, only those will have the Hindu Dharma Yonijam, the Sanatana Hindu Dharma Yonijam of being born to Hindu parents. Human birth is Uttamam, the best, and Sanatana Hindu Dharma human birth is Uttamottamam, the best of the best. And everyone who took this Uttamottama birth has the responsibility of protecting the science of living enlightenment and Sanatana Dharma. And also they have the right of experiencing its benefits. This right was given to them because of their commitment given by them to do this responsibility. After coming to Bhuloka, by getting mentally deluded and forgetting that the Dharma of protecting Sanatana Dharma, Maya, she is taking away all of their souls. Understand carefully, I am giving the Sanatana Hindu Dharma Yonijam only for those who gave the commitment of protecting Sanatana Dharma, even by giving their life. After getting the body, because of painful delusion, not dropping fear and greed, Sanatana Hindu Dharma, Maya, she will immediately add them all to the list of those who are not worthy of living. Therefore, Rakshasas and Asuras are automatically taking away their life. Understand properly, for those who stand that even by giving their life, they will protect Dharma, will permanently have Virasvarga and Kailasa Padavi. For any reason, people who forgot to protect Dharma Having the Uttamottama birth of Sanatana Hindu birth, there is no other way for them. Sanatana Hindu Dharma, human birth, is Uttamottama human birth. Your rights in this world are immense. Also, your responsibility in this world is large. Protecting Dharma is responsibility. Those who do not protect Dharma, they do not have the right to live. Understand properly, all those who took the Uttamottama birth, which is Sanatana Hindu Dharma birth, all of you understand. The first responsibility of your life is protecting Dharma. If you protect Dharma, Dharma will protect you. If you forget to protect Sanatana Hindu Dharma, you lose the right of living. After that, what bothers whether you live or get destroyed? Asuras and Rakshasas will eat you, so that the burden on earth is reduced. Seeing that, mind keep quiet. So now let us understand what is the responsibility of Hindu as described by Devi Parashakti. We've been given this Hindu birth, this being born to Hindu parents as a blessing because of our commitment to protect Sanatana Dharma, to protect all the great gifts it has to offer to the world. So how can we do that? It's only through the Hindu nation. Let us understand a little bit more about what is the responsibility of Hindu. Hinduism represents the world's most ancient yet progressive indigenous spiritual tradition. It is an open framework model of civilization that stands for global peace, vegetarianism, nonviolence, yoga, worship of nature, temple-based living, manifesting spiritual powers, and the inherent divinity of every being. The Hindu nations were ecosystems where more and more enlightened beings could be produced so that the enlightened civilization could be kept alive and its great gifts shared with the world. So let us look at some of the references of Hindu nations from our Hindu scriptures. There have been very hundreds and hundreds of references of these Hindu nations, how prosperous they were, and how successful they were as kingdoms because of the following the Hindu principles. So let us look at some of the most famous references that you probably have already heard of. The first reference that we'll look at is the Rama Rajya, the kingdom ruled by Bhagavan Rama. And it's described in the Valmiki Ramayana. There were no widows to lament, nor there was any danger from wild animals, nor any fear born of diseases. The world was bereft of thieves and robberies. No one felt worthless, nor did old people perform obsequies concerning youngsters. Every creature felt pleased. Everyone was intent on virtue, turning their eyes towards Rama alone. Creatures did not kill one another. And the description continues on. People survived for thousands of years with thousands of their progeny, all free of illness and grief. The trees were bearing flowers and fruits regularly without any injury by pests and insects. The clouds were raining in time, and the wind was delightful to the touch. Every caste was performing their own duties, satisfied with their own work and bereft of any greed. People were intent on virtue and lived without telling lies. All the people were endowed with excellent characteristics. All were engaged in virtue. And another reference of the Hindu kingdom is the Hastinapur kingdom ruled by Yudhishthira, described in the Srimad Mahabharata. And described, Devas granted rains to fulfill all wants. The world became free of all diseases. There was no hunger or thirst anywhere. There was no mental suffering. Those without livelihood were given livelihood. There was abundance all around. There was no worldly worries left for anyone, and there was no cause for fear either. Happiness on earth was in fact greater than even in the heavens. The Hindu nations had so much to contribute to the world in every single field, whether in the field of enlightenment, health, medicine, art, science, technology, aviation, dance and music, clothes and jewelry, social systems, judicial systems, political systems, legal systems. Every field, Hindu nations contributed and gave breakthroughs to the world. So now let us look at how our Hindu nations were destroyed. Over the course of 1,000 years, Hindu nations faced various invasions and destruction of the Hindu civilization. And this was carried out over 3 phases. We'll be looking at each of those phases, understanding how exactly over the course of 1,000 years, the Hindu civilizations have been left completely destroyed. When once we had 56 nations, now we have none other than Kailasa. So the first phase of the destruction of Hindu civilization was the Islamic invasions between 800 and 1700 AD. This was the physical destruction of the Hindu civilization, and Will Durant described that the Mohammedan conquest of India is probably the bloodiest story in history. The Islamic invaders and the historians and scholars have recorded with great glee and pride the slaughters of Hindus, the forced conversions, abduction of Hindu women and children to slave markets, and the destruction of Hindu temples carried out by the warriors of Islam. And the Islamic law prescribed for Hindus, as conveyed by Khilji, describes that Hindus are like mud. If silver is demanded from them, they must, with the greatest humility, offer gold. If a Mohammedan desires to spit into a Hindu's mouth, the Hindu should open it wide for that purpose. God created Hindus to be slaves of Mohammedans. The Prophet hath ordained that if Hindus do not accept Islam, they should be imprisoned, tortured, and finally put to death, and their property confiscated. To keep Hindus in abasement is an especially religious duty. And the Islamic invasion caused 200 million Hindus to be slaughtered, 100,000 temples to be destroyed, and 1 million deities and sculptures to be destroyed. And the description of the invasion: the conquering armies burned villages, devastated the land, plundered people's wealth, took Brahmins and children and women of all classes captive, flagged them with thongs of rawhide, and carried a moving prison with them, and converted the prisoners to obsequious Turks. The next was the British occupation, which was the economic and psychological destruction of the Hindu civilization. Grant again describes, I have seen a great people starving to death before my eyes. I am convinced that the exhaustion and starvation are due not, as their beneficiaries claim, to overpopulation and superstition, but to the most sordid and criminal exploitation of one nation by another in all recorded history. And the British Empire used all possible means to destroy the Hindu civil and cultural institutions in order to delegitimize and demoralize the indigenous people of India so that they would become slaves in their own homeland. This included discriminatory laws to instill feelings of racial inferiority, engineering artificial famines to starve natives into submission, annexing Hindu kingdoms to undermine the native rule, mistranslating our Hindu scriptures to instill feeling anti-Hindu narratives, to destroying the indigenous Gurukul education system, and destroying local productivity. And the British occupation caused $45 trillion to be looted from India over the course of 200 years, and 45 million Hindus were put to death due to artificial famine, and imposed poverty, and over 680 native kingdoms were usurped by the British Raj. And Sashi Tharoor of the Indian Parliament described, the British came to one of the richest countries of the world, and over 200 years of exploitation and looting reduced it to a poster child of third world poverty. The next phase of the destruction of the Hindu civilization was the secularization of India between 1947 and present day after independence until the current day. This has been ruled by brown faces, British attitudes and policies toward Hindus. And Nehru describes what a disgusting savage people we are. Politics, progress, socialism, communism, science, where are they before the black? India can never be a Hindu republic. And B.R. Ambedkar, the India's first law minister and principal architect of the Constitution, has described, if Hindu Raj does become a fact, it will no doubt be the greatest calamity for this country. No matter what the Hindus say, Hinduism is a menace to liberty, equality, and fraternity. It is incompatible with democracy. Hindu Raj must be prevented at any cost. These are the first leaders of the so-called secular India, who had a very clearly anti-Hindu narrative. And the modern Indian legal system, academia, and media all systematically undermine, suppress, and delegitimize Hindu institutions and culture through various methods. India's constitution established government control over and taxation over Hindu temples, schools, and other Hindu institutions, while other religions are free from this interference. And Hindu have been completely abolished, and anti-superstition laws have been established in order to criminalize Hindu practices. And the secularization of India also brought media narratives that were used to stereotype and demoralize Hindus. Bollywood and other mainstream media outlets consistently portray Hindu gods and gurus as cartoonish, dishonest, corrupt, sex fiends, and in a manner that is similar to the British imperial propaganda. These media narratives are used to shape human consciousness and further political agenda. These racist, so all of this destruction of the Hindu civilization happened over the course of 1,000 years. And now it is time for the revival of our Hindu nation. As Devi Parashakti has described, it is the responsibility of Hindus to protect Sanatana Hindu Dharma, to protect all the great gifts it has to offer to the world. That's why we were given this birth, the Uttamatama birth of Hindu birth. And the only way to protect all of the great gifts of Hindu civilization is by the revival of the Hindu civilization. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has revealed the vision for this. During the time of the Mahabharata, we Hindus had 56 deshas, 200 states, 1,700 samsthanas, and 10,000 sampradayas. In all 56, we Hindus are persecuted. Now we have lost all of the 56. The last to fall was Nepal. I am the collective voice of all the persecuted Hindus. I will revive and rebuild a Hindu nation built on the Vedagamic principles as a refuge for all practicing and aspiring Hindus, as a safe haven for all Hindus. So why do we need the revival of Kailasa? What is the revival of Kailasa? This revival of Kailasa, the Hindu nation, is for reviving this whole life of enlightenment civilization and all the great things it has to offer the world, bringing legitimacy to all the offerings of Sanatana Hindu Dharma and sharing it with the world is the purpose of this Kailasa, civilization. This is also the reason that we were all given the Hindu birth as they be revealed. And Kailasa is the revival of the cosmic constitution. Kailasa is the model nation of how enlightened civilization should be living and administered. Politics, judiciary, education, economy. Everything will be revived as Paramashiva revealed in the Vedagamic Sanatana Hindu Dharma scripture. Being one of the most persecuted civilizations, Hinduism is on the brink of extinction, such that the next generation may know about Hinduism only through history books. So what can we do to stand up for our Hindu civilization and all that it has offered to the world? What can we do to take the responsibility that we have committed to, as Devi Parashakti revealed when we were given this human birth, this Uttamottama birth of Sanatana Hindu birth? Today, Hinduism is a political orphan. the preservation and restoration of Hinduism's political, spiritual, cultural heritage is impossible without national identity. So what can we do to save? Let us reclaim our Hindu identity. As Devi Parashakti reveals, we've been given this Uttamottama birth of Hindu birth because we've taken the commitment to protect Sanatana Hindu Dharma. However, due to Maya, we have forgotten this commitment that we have taken, and we've fallen into this delusion, forgotten our responsibility to protect Hinduism, to protect Sanatana Hindu Dharma. So now it is time to reclaim our responsibility, our Hindu identity. We need to understand that Hinduism is responsible for our successful life. If you are a Hindu and you are healthy, wealthy, rich, successful, peaceful, happy, respectable, have a stable family life, have the best mental health, you need to understand Hinduism is responsible for this. Our Hindu identity is responsible. Our Hindu scriptures are responsible. It is Hindu scriptures which have given us the best mental setup. All the best things that we Hindus have, the Hindu scriptures are responsible. And Hindus are the richest and most successful ethnic community in the world. In the scriptures, Hindu lifestyle, our enlightened masters are responsible for this. Hindu thought currents are responsible for this. And in the Hindustan Times, just to show one example, Hindus are considered to be the most educated religious group in the US, according to research by Pew Reports. So this is just one example of how much Hindus contribute to the world and how much of goodness they brought to the world. Let us reclaim our Hindu identity. We need to understand that it is not just anti-Hindu elements being active. It is the responsible Hindus being inactive that is responsible for this whole destruction of Hinduism. Let us now take the responsibility for Hinduism and let all the Hindus all over the world reclaim our Hindu identity. Again, as Devi revealed, it is our responsibility to protect Hinduism. That is why we were given the Uttamottama birth of Hindu birth. And because we have taken up this responsibility, we've been given the best birth, the Uttamottama birth. And we've also been given the opportunity to enjoy all the great gifts that Hinduism has to offer to the world. Most of us have forgotten this responsibility that we've taken up, and we've fallen into the Maya, the delusion. That is why we see the destruction of the Hindu civilization. It is the responsibility of Hindus to revive this enlightened civilization again and again, and give all the gifts of the enlightened civilization to humanity. The revival of the enlightened civilization, the Kailasa, the Hindu nation, is the survival need of humanity. So this is an invitation to all of the Hindus out there. We are inviting all the Hindus, those who are born Hindus, practicing Hindus, those who are sympathetic towards Hinduism, those who are curious towards Hinduism, those who want to explore and enjoy Hinduism. Please come and become a part of this revival of Kailasa, the Hindu civilization. And you can go ahead and visit kailasa.org and sign up to become an e-citizen of Kailasa and enjoy all the great gifts that Hinduism has to offer to the world, and also share all the great gifts of Hinduism with the world. Become an e-citizen of Kailasa and protect Hinduism and be a part of the revival of Hinduism. So now let us listen to what the Supreme Concept of Hinduism has revealed as the need for Kailasa, the only Hindu civilization.
Contribution. Hinduism, Veda Agamas have great things to contribute to the world. Like the great power manifestation science, the ancient culture and arts, the ancient lifestyle truths, the ancient medical practices and medicinal knowledge, the ancient indigenous cultural heritage and jewelry, perfume, dance, music, in every level, Hinduism has so much to contribute. Veda Agamic traditions have so much to contribute. To share all this with the world, to contribute to the world. Hindus need to tell the world what they are contributing in every level. The brand of Hinduism itself is enriching and empowering and enlightening. Hinduism is all about enlightening the world. Empowering, enlightening, enriching the world. Contributing. That is our spiritual life. That is our spiritual strength. That is our spiritual core principle. O humanity, I request you with folded hands, some one corner of the world, if you just give me few hundred acres, I will keep this whole science alive. Leave it for the whole humanity freely. Fortunately, Paramashiva has given me the power to decode all this Hindu medicinal system, Hindu judiciary system, Hindu social law and order system, Hindu power manifestation system, Hindu mental sciences system, Hindu yogic sciences, the sciences of Hindu biology, Hindu physics, Hindu psychology, Hindu physiology, Hindu chemistry, all this Paramashiva has given me the power to decode. Whatever the remaining scriptures are available with the humanity, Paramashiva has blessed me, and I have collected, not only I have collected and organized, I can decode. This whole science can be kept alive in any one corner of the world. Just few hundred acres are given for me to live peacefully and exist peacefully. I can store this whole life and contribute it to humanity. Humanity can become better and better and better. I can make the planet Earth so much better place to live. I am here to contribute, and I will continue to contribute. As long as I am allowed to live, I will contribute. I have collected all the remaining available scriptures, maybe 2 crore books. 2 crore means 20 million, I think, books on Hindu physics, Hindu chemistry, Hindu biology, Hindu physiology, Hindu psychology, Hindu law and order, Hindu social system, the power manifestation sciences of Hinduism, yogic sciences of Hinduism. I have collected, and Paramashiva has given me the blessings and power to decode. I have decoded and continuing to decode them. If somebody is kind enough to give me few hundred acres in one corner of the world and let me live peacefully, I can keep all the scriptures there and go on sharing with the world, revealing these whole sciences to the world, and go on contributing. I don't need anything other than one cup of curd rice every day. That's all. A cup of curd rice per day, over. I can go on be giving this to the world. I can add to the world. I can make the world a better place to live. That's all I have to say. Thousands of medicines are described detail in ancient Siddha and Ayurvedic scriptures. Paramashiva has given me the power to decode them, read them, and properly translate and map them to the modern day human language. And I am ready to work 20 hours a day. I just need few hundred acres where I can sit peacefully and keep this library, run a Gurukul where thousands of people can learn this and share it with the world. Understand? I am only interested in contributing. If we can decode all this great knowledge, whole world can prosper from this knowledge. Whole world can enjoy from this knowledge. If I prosper, I will only create a university. I will not create anything else. If the Hindus prosper, they will only create education institutions. Because Hinduism is all about giving, contributing. I'll create university, that's all. Kailasa is all about university to decode the ancient sciences and share with the world. Understand? Every day I am sitting and going on decoding, writing notes on my books and writing details on my books. Whether it is making human beings manifest powers, and I have also now started downloading and decoding the science of making animals manifest powers. Whether making people manifest powers or healing, in every level, life is all about contribution.
Now, so we've understood what is the need for Kailasa, the only Hindu civilization, the only Hindu nation. Let us now sign up to become a part of Kailasa, to be an e-citizen of Kailasa. You can visit kailasa.org and sign up to be an e-citizen and avail all the benefits that Hinduism has to offer the world, and also share all of the great gifts Hinduism has with the world. So now, with this, we will be concluding this portion of And we will be entering into the next segment, where we will understand some of the offerings that we can make to Devi Parashakti. As all of us know, Devi has been continuously guiding us and blessing us and protecting us during this time. So if you would like to offer your gratitude to Devi Parashakti, you can stay tuned for this next segment and understand some of the various offerings that you can make.
I mean by the word e-Kailasa? Listen intensely. Enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself, in your own home, wherever you are. If you cannot come to Kailasa, it's okay. Kailasa can come to you. Kailasa coming to you is e-Kailasa. I will revive Hinduism. I am a Hindu revivalist, not by any revolution, but by evolution. And setting model communities. Kailasas, enlightenment ecosystems, Sarvanya Pitas all over the world. All powerful cognition, knowledge, only when you live, power manifestation and possibilities manifestation happens. It's a fundamental truth. Hinduism cannot live exclusively as one sampradaya. No. All sampradayas of Hinduism is an ecosystem. So don't keep quiet thinking that if one sampradaya is attacked, only that sampradaya is going to be affected. All of us are ecosystem. I invite all of you to get involved and enjoy Hinduism by the principle of Dharmo Rakshati Rakshitaha. When you protect Dharma, Dharma protects you. You will make the whole planet flourish spiritually. The spiritual prosperity will happen to the whole planet. We all have to coexist together. We get you health. We get you ability to build beautiful relationships in your life. We get you direct spiritual support, and we make sure you become wealthy. We won't stop giving you just good life. We will literally not stop till you live enlightened life. Manifesting the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, being of Paramashiva. Whole world should become e-Kailashians.
I want the whole world to know Hindus have something great to contribute to the world. We have something great to contribute to the world. Let us do that.
E-Kailasa is proper customized spiritual service helping you to identify your root patterns of suffering. We have perfected the science of helping every individual from every cultural, religious, nationality background. You will have lowest reactionary assumptions, highest awakened response, alive response for life continuously. E-Kailasa is an ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself in your own wherever you are. Proper customized spiritual service helping you to complete with your life negativity. Withdrawal from life, self-hatred, self-denial, self-doubt, so much of tiredness, laziness. We can support you aligning your diet, your attitude, your aptitude, your understanding about life. We can help you with everything. If you are interested in enlightenment, we will immediately bring this to you. If you are not interested, we will explain the whole science, inspire you and make you interested in enlightenment science. We need to cater this enlightenment science to the whole world wherever they are, because enlightenment is the birthright of all human beings. Kailasa is responsible to provide that to all human beings. Kailasa is the totality of the knowledge I received from my gurus and practice manifested in my life, perfected by teaching millions of people from all cultures, zones, backgrounds, genders, nationality, race, from every creed. So this absolutely perfected knowledge available to you, served to you in your home without even you moving out of your couch, free of cost.
Just be alive for next 3 years. Don't die within next 3 years.
Just don't die within next 3 years. Be alive. Somehow be alive. I'm working sincerely. I will reach you somehow. Somehow I will reach you. It's my commitment to humanity. Just don't die within next 3 years. I will reach you wherever you are, whichever corner of the world you may be. I will reach you with enlightenment. You manifesting the space, state, powers, being Paramashivoham. It is possible, and it is possible for you. Paramashivoham will reach you with enlightenment science. I know he is going to do the job. Just be alive for next 3 years. Nothing else.
What I mean by the word E-Kailasa, listen intensely. Enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself, in your own home, wherever you are. If you cannot come to Kailasa, it's okay. Kailasa can come to you. Kailasa coming to you is E-Kailasa. I will revive Hinduism. I am a Hindu revivalist, not by any revolution, but by evolution.
Nithyananda. Yes, let us now enter into the next segment where we'll be learning more about the various offerings we can make to Devi Parashakti today. In the Hindu tradition, the offering is a pure gift of love, devotion, and oneness, and it is a celebration of the darshan, the meeting with the divine, the communion with the divine. It is the custom that whenever we visit a temple, when we have the darshan of the divine, when we have a darshan of the Guru, we do not go empty-handed. We always offer some token of our gratitude, an expression of our sacred sentiments. And when the divine accepts one offers, the offering becomes complete. These offerings are not made out of fear or greed, but they're a pure expression of our sacred sentiments of love, devotion, and gratitude to the divine. And when an avatar lands, the offerings are purely a part of the grand Leela, laid out only for the purpose of enlightenment. And today, as we get ready to receive the darshan and blessings of Devi Parashakti, let us contemplate on this Dhyana Shloka, which describes the beauty and splendor of Devi. This verse from the Moola Agama Manonmani Dhyana describes Induniभवेदकरवह्निनयनं स्यात् पङ्कजवराभयजपाक्षरसरयुक्तम् अङ्गहिमभूषणविचित्रवसनं स्यात् तुङ्गमकुटोज्ज्वलमनोन्मणिस्वरूपम्. The translation of this verse, it means moon-like face holding Veda books on hand, fire in eyes with lotus flower, gracing and blessing hands, and one hand with Japamala, beautifully decorated with jeweled ornaments and wonderful clothes and shining crown. Her name is Manonmani. And another verse which describes Devi Parashakti from the Moolagama, this verse says, ध्यायेत् देवीं त्रिनेत्रां शशिनिभवदनां वेदहस्तां ददानां सव्ये पद्मां वरदमपरे चाभयं चाक्षमालां दिव्यैराभरणैर्विभूषिततनुं ब्रह्मादिभिः पूजितां देवीमेव मनोन्मणिं प्रतिदिनं कामार्थदात्रीं शुभाम्. And the translation of this verse, it says, I meditate on Devi with 3 eyes, glowing like a moon and holding the Veda, lotus, and gracing with blessing and gracing hands. She is wearing beautiful ornaments. She is worshipped by Brahma and other many gods and showers auspicious boons for all actions every day. And another verse from the Atharva Veda describes the significance of the divine element of gold. In the Hindu tradition, the sacred element of gold is used in abundance in all of the traditional offerings, rituals, and worship. And this verse from the Atharva Veda describes the significance of this divine element of gold. I'll be chanting this verse now. प्रेदाजितं जन्मनेदं हिरण्यम् अग्निरेकं प्रियतमां बभूव सोमस्यैक्यं इंसितस्य परपतता पापमेकं वेद संभेता अहुतत्ते हिरण्यं त्रिदस्त्वै विशे. The translation for this verse: triply born by birth is this gold. From the atoms of Agni is one. It becomes dearest to Agni. One fell away from the Soma when it was heard. One they call the seed of virtuous and powerful Apa, the watery molecules. Let that triple gold be for your long life. Gold is a divine element in the tradition. It purifies anything it touches. It is an element of great spiritual significance and spiritual power of healing and enlightening. The vibration of gold has the power to infuse sattva energy and positive thought currents in anyone who wears it and in anyone who sees or operates in its vicinity. Gold is present in all the Hindu scriptures, the Agamas, the Vedas, the Shrutis, Smritis, Itihasas, Puranas. In all the scriptures, it is abundantly displayed that gold is the most auspicious and purest metal which purifies our being. In the Hindu civilization, everything was built in gold, exchanged in gold. Ritual feasts were offered in gold bricks. When one was to be saved from life-threatening illnesses, gold was offered as a ritual fee. Gold was in abundance and used for weighing equivalent amounts of commodities, including cows. Kingdoms were built with huge stores of gold. The streets would have huge columns and huge archways made of gold. Horses and cows were dressed in gold. Hindu civilization thrived on the banks of rivers of gold. The Indus River was called Hiranmaya, the river of gold in Rigveda. The river Saraswati was called Hiranyavartini in Atharva Veda. Gold is the supreme element for offering gifts to the ones you love and revere. Temples are constructed and paved in gold. Deities are made in gold and decked and adorned in gold because it preserves the enlightenment energy for thousands of years and it lasts forever. So today, let us look at the various traditional offerings that you can offer to Devi Parashakti as we get ready to receive her darshan and blessings. So you can make various traditional offerings of ornaments and sevas. The first offering is the e-hundi offering. And just as we have the offering of the hundi in any temple in India, as where the devotee can offer any token of gratitude as they wish to. Similarly, today you can make the e-hundi offerings in multiple currencies and in any amount as you would wish to offer. And Devi is one who is described as the one who is fond of true devotion. She is Bhakti Priya. So let us look at this verse which describes Devi's love for true devotion. Bhakti Priya, Bhakti Kamya, Bhakti Vashya Bhayapaha, Shambhavi Sharada Radhya Sharvani Sharmadaini. The translation for this verse, it says, Devi is fond of true devotion and is realized through true devotion. She can be won over through devotion and she removes all fear. If there's any fear in the minds of the devotee, Devi is sure to remove that fear. It is stated that Devi likes to be worshipped in autumn. Here it is meant the autumn of our lives when thoughts turn more and more inwards. The role of the divine is known and understood clearly. The need for Devi worship becomes stronger. Shambhavi is the consort of Shambhu or Lord Shiva. Sharada Radhya is the one who is worshipped by Devi Sharada, Devi Saraswati. Sharvani is the wife of Lord Shiva. The Linga Purana says Lord Shiva is called Sharva in his earth form. Sharmadaini is Devi who bestows happiness on the devotees. And you can make the offerings of e-hundi as your token of gratitude and devotion to Devi Parashakti, your kanika, your token of gratitude. And Devi blesses every devotee just for the devotion. She is the one who is fond of true devotion. So you can make the e-hundi offerings on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas, and you can make this offering in multiple currencies and in any amount as you would wish to offer. The next offering to Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Sankalpa chanting. This verse from Devi Mahatmyam, chapter 12, verse 34 describes Tayai tanmohyate vishwam shaiva vishwam prasuyate saya chittaja vijanam tushta rudhim prayaschati. The translation for this verse, it says the goddess enchants this universe and she herself gives birth to this universe. That goddess being prayed without interest in anything gives the knowledge that leads to salvation and gives wealth in the materialistic sense. You can make the offering of the conscious resolution, the Sankalpa chanting, and be blessed with the fruition of all the desires and wishes that you yearn for. So you can make this offering of the Sankalpa chanting on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. And the next traditional offering to Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Sahasranama Swarnakasu, which is the pure gold coin inscribed with one of the 1008 sacred names of Devi Parashakti. Devi is described as Nama Parayana Prita, she who likes the repetition of her various names. And in this offering of the Sahasranama Swarnakasu, the 1008 sacred names of Devi Parashakti are inscribed on each coin, one name inscribed on each of the coins. And this is a very special and unique archana offered to the Mahameru of Devi Parashakti. So you can make this offering of the Sahasranama Swarnakasu, the pure gold coin inscribed with the 1008 names of Devi Parashakti, and be blessed to receive, to imbibe the very divine qualities of Devi Parashakti herself as described through the various sacred names, through her various sacred names. the Ananta Kalyana Gunas, the divine qualities of Devi Parashakti herself, are described in these 1008 sacred names. So you can make this offering of the Sahasranama Swarna caste and be blessed to imbibe the very divine qualities of Devi Parashakti herself. And this offering can be made on the website www.kailasamela.com/sevas. The next offering to Devi Parashakti is the offering of the gold finger ring with pearl, the Mukta Anguti. And Devi is described as the one pearls and gems. So let us look at this verse which describes the beauty of Devi Parashakti. It says, Muktahara lasat kirita ruchiram purnendu vaktra prabham shinjannu purakinkini manidharam padma prabhabhasuram sarvabhita palapradam girisutam vani rama sevitam मीनाक्षीं प्रणतोऽस्मि सन्ततमहं कारुण्यवारां निधिम्. The translation of this verse, it says, I bow to the goddess Meenakshi, whose crown has garlands of pearls and the face shining like a full moon, who wears anklets that are studded with gemstones and has small bells, who is shining like the splendor of lotus, who grants all the wishes, the daughter of the mountain, who is worshipped by goddesses Vani and Rama. I remain ever bowing to the goddess Meenakshi, the ocean of compassion. And you can make this offering of the Mukta Anguti, the gold finger ring embedded with pearl, and receive the blessings of Devi Parashakti, showered by her pure love and compassion in all your business endeavors. And you can make this offering on the website www.kailasamela.com/sevas. The next offering is the Swarna Padma Pushpa, the gold lotus flower. And in this verse from the Kamikagama, this describes the significance of the gold lotus. It says, Ashtavidyeshwaropeta kumbhavarana samyutam sarve sasutra vastradhya hema pankaja bhushitaha sapidanasajurajascha pakva bilva palaprabha snapanadhyaya samsiddha pramanena samanvitaha. The translation of this verse, it says, all the kalashas should be wound around with a suitable thread and covered with a new cloth. They should be adorned with lotus flowers made of gold. And there are hundreds of scriptural references for using the lotus in the worship of Paramashiva in the Hindu tradition. Almost everything in the worship of the ultimate involving the consecration of the deities of worship or meditating on the mudras and asanas worship involves the lotus flower, the lotus leaf, the lotus pericarp, the lotus petals. The lotus is a divine flower in the Hindu tradition. The Shakti of Paramashiva is also called a lotus. The base of the Paramashiva linga is a lotus. The disciple of Paramashiva is also considered a lotus, one who is about to bloom. And you can make this offering of the gold lotus in any of 3 different sizes as you would wish to, and be blessed to have the state, space, powers, and being of Devi Parashakti in your inner space amidst any and every adverse situations in life. And the next offering to Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Swarna Metti, the gold dooring. And this verse from Saundarya Lahari describes the beauty of the sacred lotus feet of Devi Parashakti. And this verse, Nakhadiditi Sanchanna Namajjana Tamo Guna Padadvaya Prabhajala Parakruta Saroruha. The translation of this verse, it says, you whose brightness from the toenails destroy the darkness of ignorance from the minds of your devotees who prostrate at your feet. You whose brightness from your 2 feet overpowers that of the lotus flower too. We can make the offering of the Swarnamatti, the gold flooring, to adorn the sacred lotus feet of Devi Parashakti, and be in constant gratitude for receiving her blessings in even the most difficult aspects of your life. So you can make this offering of the gold flooring on the website www.kailasamela.com/sevas. And the next offering to Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Swarna Mangtika, the gold hairline jewelry. Devi is described as Sudha Sharabi Varshini, she who makes the nectar flow in all our nerves from the Sahasrara. That is, she who gives the very pleasant experience of the ultimate. The Swarna Mangtika represents the nectar overflowing from the Sahasrara Chakra, which is fully opened with the sacred sentiment of gratitude. And you can make this offering of the Swarna Mangtika to Devi Parashakti and receive the blessings of achieving the blissful state of overflowing gratitude and the space of complete completion. And you can make this offering on the website www.kailasamela.com/sevas. And the next traditional offering of Seva to Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Pratyaksha Pada Puja. And this offering is the traditional ritualistic offering of gratitude from disciple to Guru. And you can make this offering on the website www.kailasamela.com/sevas. In Saundarya Lahari, the 83rd Shlokam describes that the toenails of Devi Parashakti have been constantly sharpened by being touched by the crowns of celestial beings who always prostrate before Devi. And Tamoguna is the darkness, and in this stotram, tamas, which is indicative of the ignorance in the minds of the devotees, is removed by constantly prostrating before Devi and they attain the ultimate knowledge. So you can make the offering of the Pratyaksha Pada Puja to the sacred lotus feet of Devi Parashakti and be blessed with all the auspiciousness and blessings of Devi Parashakti. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagwan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, was manifesting as the Nijavatara of Devi Parashakti herself. So you can make this offering of the Pratyaksha Pada Puja on the website www.kailasamela.com/sevas. The next offering to Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Vastra Seva, the traditional cloth, and this traditional offering blesses the Yajaman with all the auspiciousness and blessings of Devi Parashakti and the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagwan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam. So you can make this offering of the sacred cloth to Devi Parashakti as your offering of gratitude and devotion to Devi. And you can register for this offering on the website www.kailasamela.com/sevas. So here you can see a summary of all the traditions that can be offered to Devi Parashakti today as you get ready to receive the darshan and blessings of Devi. The e-hundi offerings can be made in any amount and in multiple currencies. You can make the offering of the Sankalpa chanting the conscious resolution. The Devi Sahasranama Kasu is the pure gold coin inscribed with one sacred name of Devi Parashakti from her sacred names. And you can make this offering in 3 different denominations and any number of coins as you wish to offer. You can make the offering of the Mukta Anguti, the gold finger ring embedded with pearl in 3 different sizes. You can make the offering of the Swarna Padma Pushpa, the gold lotus flower in 3 different sizes. You can also offer the Swarna Metti, the gold toe ring to adorn the sacred lotus feet of Devi Parashakti. The Swarna Mangtika, the gold hairline jewelry that represents the overflowing nectar from the Sahasrara. The Pratyaksha Pada Puja, which is the ritualistic offering of gratitude from disciple to Guru, and the Vastra Seva, which is the sacred Devi Parashakti. You can register for any of these traditional offerings and sevas on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. So now let us take a look at the website where you can register for these various offerings. So here you can see the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. And you can scroll down on the page and click on the 2 links on step 2 to make your offerings for the e-hundi or the traditional offerings of ornaments and sevas. And if you'd like to make an intention today to make an offering and would like to receive the blessings of Devi Parashakti to manifest your intention into reality, you can also fill out the form on step 1, the intention form. And once you've made your traditional offerings of ornaments or sevas, if you would like to fill out the Sankalpa details for yourself and the family members, your name and the names of your family members, and your Sankalpa, the conscious resolution for your offering to Devi Parashakti. You can fill out the form on step 3. So here we have the e-hundi offerings, which can be made in multiple currencies: the US dollar, the Australian dollar, the New Zealand dollar, the Canadian dollar, the euro, the Indian rupees, the Singaporean dollar, the Malaysian ringgit, the Great Britain pound, and the Chinese yen. And you can make these offerings in various currencies, multiple currencies, and any amount of your choice. And you can also make the offerings of the traditional ornaments and sevas to Devi Parashakti on this website, where you can make the offering of the Devi Sahasranama Swarnakasu, which is the pure gold coin inscribed with one of the 1008 sacred names of Devi Parashakti. The Mukta Anguti, which is the gold finger ring embedded with pearl, which can be offered in 3 different sizes. The Swarna Padma Pushpa, which is the gold lotus flower, which can be offered in 3 different sizes. The Swarna Metti, which is the gold toe ring to adorn the sacred lotus feet of Devi Parashakti. The Swarna Mangtika, which is the gold hairline jewelry representing the overflowing nectar of gratitude from the Sahasrara Chakra. The Pratyaksha Pada Puja, which is the ritualistic offering of gratitude to the Guru. And the Vastra Seva, which is the sacred cloth offering. These and all the traditional offerings of ornaments and sevas to Devi Parashakti, you can register for any of these offerings on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. And with that, now we'll be moving to the next segments of this program, where we'll be learning more about Devi Parashakti and getting ready to receive her darshan and blessings today. So let us now get ready for the next segments of this program and the live darshan and blessings.
I mean by the word e-Kailasa? Listen intensely. Enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself, in your own home, wherever you are. If you cannot come to Kailasa, it's okay. Kailasa can come to you. Kailasa coming to you is e-Kailasa. I will revive Hinduism. I am a Hindu revivalist, not by any revolution, but by evolution. And setting model communities. Kailasas, enlightenment ecosystems, Sarvanya Pitas all over the world. All powerful cognition, knowledge, only when you live, power manifestation and possibilities manifestation happens. It's a fundamental truth. Hinduism cannot live exclusively as one sampradaya. No. All sampradayas of Hinduism is an ecosystem. So don't keep quiet thinking that if one sampradaya is attacked, only that sampradaya is going to be affected. All of us are ecosystems. I invite all of you to get involved and enjoy Hinduism by the principle of Dharmo Rakshati Rakshitaha. When you protect Dharma, Dharma protects you. We will make the whole planet flourish spiritually. The spiritual prosperity will happen to the whole planet. We all have to coexist together. We get you health. We get you ability to build beautiful relationships in your life. We get you direct spiritual support, and we make sure you become wealthy. We won't stop giving you just good life. We will literally not stop till you live enlightened life. Manifesting the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, being of Paramashiva. Whole world should become e-Kailasians. I want the whole world to know Hindus have something great to contribute to the world. We have something great to contribute to the world. Let us do that. E-Kailasa is proper customized spiritual service helping you to identify your root patterns of suffering. We have perfected the science of helping every individual, cultural, religious, nationality background. You will have lowest reactionary assumptions, highest awakened response, alive response for life continuously. E-Kailasa is enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself in your own home, wherever you are. Proper customized spiritual service helping you to complete with your life negativity. Withdrawal from life, self-hatred, self-denial, self-doubt, so much of tiredness, laziness. We can support you aligning your diet, your attitude, your aptitude, your understanding about life. We can help you with everything. If you are interested in enlightenment, we will immediately bring this to you. If you are not interested, we will explain the whole science, inspire you and make you interested in enlightenment science. We need to cater this enlightenment science to the whole world wherever they are, because enlightenment is the birthright of all human beings. Kailasa is responsible to provide that to all human beings. Kailasa is the totality of the knowledge I received from my gurus and practice manifested in my life, perfected by teaching millions of people from all cultures, time zones, backgrounds, genders, nationality, race, from every creed. So this absolutely perfected knowledge available to you, served to you in your home without even you moving out of your couch, free of cost.
Just be alive for next 3 years. Don't die within next 3 years. Just don't die within next 3 years. Be alive. Somehow be alive. I'm working sincerely. I will reach you somehow. Somehow I will reach you. It's my commitment to humanity. Just don't die within next 3 years. I will reach you wherever you are, whichever corner of the world you may be. I will reach you with enlightenment. You manifesting the space, state, powers, being Paramashivoham. It is possible, and it is possible for you. Paramashiva will reach you with enlightenment signs. I know he is going to do the job. Just be alive for next 3 years. Nothing else.
What I mean by the word e-Kailasa, listen intensely. Enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself, in your own home, wherever you are. If you cannot come to Kailasa, it's okay. Kailasa can come to you. Kailasa coming to you is e-Kailasa. I will revive Hinduism. I am a Hindu revivalist, not by any revolution, but by evolution. And setting model community. Kailasas, enlightenment ecosystems, Sarvanya Pitas all over the world. All powerful cognition, knowledge, only when you live, power manifestation and possibilities manifestation happens. This is a fundamental truth. Hinduism cannot live exclusively as one sampradaya. No. All sampradayas of Hinduism is an ecosystem. So don't keep quiet thinking that if one sampradaya is attacked, only that sampradaya is going to be affected. All of us are ecosystem. I invite all of you to get involved and enjoy Hinduism by the principle of Dharmo Rakshati Rakshitaha. When you protect Dharma, Dharma protects you. You will make the whole planet flourish spiritually. The spiritual prosperity will happen to the whole planet. We all have to coexist together. We get you health. We get you ability to build beautiful relationships in your life. We get you direct spiritual support, and we make sure you become wealthy. We won't stop giving you just good life. We will literally not stop till you live enlightened life. Manifesting the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, being of Paramashiva. Whole world should become e-Kailasians. I want the whole world to
Nithyanandam, Welcome back to this segment of the Kailasa's multi-layer quarantine facility at the Kailasa's de facto spiritual embassies. With the blessings of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, let's start with the Sadguru Vandanam. Nithyanandam Paramashivoham Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadusham Tattvamasya Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Triguna Rahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. So what we learned from this segment today is concerning statistics on mental health and global peace across the world due to COVID-19 pandemic. What are the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and Kailasa's contribution towards the global peace, and the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism spiritual solutions for COVID-19 and Kailasa's COVID care protection centers, some glimpses, and getting prepared for the live satsang and Bhava Samadhi Darshan of Sundareshwara Sayudha Samadhi Darshan. So, the crisis that we are under. Today, people around the world are trying to grapple with the grim reality that the pandemic is far from over. The aftermath of the current calamity promises to be much more devastating. The greatest economics of the world are facing disastrous futures. Countries are facing off each other in deep mistrust. So now let us understand some of the statistics and current news. In Australia, reported a record number of coronavirus cases recently when the country continues to battle with the third wave of COVID-19 infections. The World Health Organization makes a big statement about the Delta variant of COVID-19. And COVID-19 has killed more Americans than the influenza pandemic of 1918 to 19 did. The 1918 to 19 influenza flu infected about 25% of Americans and killed an estimated 0.65% with 675,000 deaths. COVID-19 has infected more than 12% of Americans and killed about 0.2% with 676,000 deaths. Now that the US death toll from COVID-19 has surpassed 676,000, the coronavirus pandemic has killed more Americans than the 1918 to 19 influenza pandemic did. So Axios and other Associated Press both reported the grim milestones recently. So COVID-19 pandemic now officially US deadliest pandemic as the death toll crosses that of the 1918 pandemic. People infected with the Alpha variant exhales 100 times more virus into the air than original COVID strain, according to a study. And 6 feet distance may not be enough to prevent viral transmission indoors. And COVID-19 Delta variant is still most concerning, says the World Health Organization. And in US, COVID-19 pandemic is nowhere under control, says the Chief Medical Advisor, Mr. Anthony Fauci. He said, right now we are still in pandemic mode because we have 160,000 new infections a day. That's not even modestly in good control. In an interview with Axios, the US has reported 40 million cases of COVID-19 since the outbreak of the virus, with over 4 million infections adding up in the past few weeks. The increase in COVID cases comes as the US administration earlier this month announced that it is planning to provide booster shots of the vaccine as the Delta variant has become dominant in the nation and is wreaking havoc. The surge in Delta variants is driven by the new vaccination coverage in many communities across the US, according to the US Center for Disease Control and Prevention. In a country of our size, you can be hanging around and having 100,000 infections a day. You have got to get well below 10,000 before you start feeling comfortable, Mr. Fauci added. COVID-19 made the world less peaceful. The COVID-19 violent incidences and fatalities, and what the increase in the violent incidences after the pandemic, according to the World Economic Forum, making the world less peaceful. Younger adults are more likely to report symptoms of anxiety and or depressive disorder during the COVID-19 pandemic. And the average share of adults reporting symptoms of anxiety and or depressive disorders, what it was in 2019, a 6 month period from January to June was 11%. Now in just 1 month of the beginning of this year, January 2021, rose up to 41.1%. And some more statistics confirming the same, that the younger adults are more likely to report symptoms of anxiety and or depressive disorder than the older adults. Stress in America, a national mental health crisis. COVID-19 is a significant stressor for most Americans. Nearly 8 in 10, which is 78%, say the coronavirus pandemic is a significant source of stress in their life. And nearly 7 in 10, which is 67%, say they have experienced this increased stress over the course of the pandemic. COVID-19 could exacerbate doctors' existing mental health burden. More than 60,000 healthcare workers have contracted COVID-19, 300 have died. Of the health workers who treated patients during the COVID-19 outbreak, 50% showed signs of depression and 45% showed signs of anxiety. Self-reported mental health among pregnant women, new mothers. Before COVID-19 pandemic, depression was 15% and now it rose up to 40.7 during the pandemic. And anxiety levels of the new mothers and pregnant women was 29% before the pandemic. Now, during the pandemic, it rose up to 72%. And living under stay-at-home orders, 8 in 10 students are struggling with focus on school and work and avoiding distractions. And 53% of all students do not know where to go for help for their mental health. Nearly 82% of women surveyed said their lives have been negatively disrupted by the pandemic. The World Bank, the global economic outlook during the COVID-19 pandemic, a changed world. The pandemic is expected to plunge most countries into recession, with per capita income contracting the largest fraction of countries globally since 1870. International Labour Organization. COVID-19 is a threat to peace building in conflict-affected nations. The COVID-19 crisis has worsened already fragile situations. The ILO is more aware than ever of its responsibility to promote peace and resilience in the time of this global pandemic. And India, the Mumbai mayor says the third wave is already here. It is not coming, it's already affecting the people. The breakthrough infections found in 25% of health staff. And new COVID-19 variant more shows signs of vaccine resistance. Now that we have seen the statistics across the world, the pandemic situation, which is affecting not only the most concern for the physical health of increasing the fatalities, the mental health concern, especially among younger adults, and which is leading to the global peace, affecting the global peace. So, how do we cope up with the current COVID-19 pandemic? It is important to address the COVID-19 pandemic, which is seeing another wave destroying many more lives. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism says the pandemic fatigue setting in as a result of continuous lockdown is resulting in delusional ignorance. Holding on to the delusion and supporting this space of delusional decisions leads to delusional arrogance. The global COVID virus pandemic has left the whole world desperately looking for answers. Life as it had been experienced even back in February 2020 is no longer recognizable. Life as it had been experienced even back in February 2020 is no longer recognizable. Drastic change is the order of the day, with people having to redefine their world with new paradigms of economy, society, faith, religion, and health. Blessed are those who have had the greatest fortune to be with incarnation of Paramashiva, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, in their life to carry them through the crisis. Sustainable developmental goals. Making peace with nature is possible if we start making peace with nature now, if we start now. Even amid the pandemic, 2021 can go down as the year we made peace with the nature and set the planet to healing. Our environmental, social, and economic challenges are interlinked. They must be tackled together. For example, we can't achieve sustainable developmental goals, including ending poverty by 2030, if climate change and ecosystem collapse are undermining food and water supplies in the world's poorest countries. We have no choice but to transform our economy and societies by valuing nature and putting its health at the heart of all our decisions. Now let's watch a small clip of making peace with nature. World Health Organization Health and Peace Initiative. Health and peace are interrelated. In the words of the Director General of World Health Organization, Dr. Tedros, there cannot be health without peace, and there cannot be a peace without health. If individuals and groups enjoy equitable access to health services, fulfilling their rights to physical and mental health, and health actors design neutral health intervention that promote trust and dialogue, and communities are empowered to cope with violent conflict, then health coverage is more universal. Grievances can be heard and addressed to generate trust around health emergency concerns. Affected communities are more likely to to peace and reconciliation and to resist the incitement to violence. United States Institute of Peace. Amid COVID, we need enhanced international coordination to build peace. Tackling the pandemic and building resilience in fragile states required concerted international action at local, national, and global levels. As the humanitarian and economic toll of the COVID 19 pandemic continues to grow, so does the risk that this crisis will fuel new conflicts around the world while stemming prospects for resolving ongoing ones. The stronger health systems and universal health coverage must be a priority. Remarks to the General Assembly special session in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. For the first time since 1945, the entire world is confronted by a common threat, regardless of nationality, ethnicity, or faith. The new social contract between people, governments, and private sector, civil society, and more can tackle the roots of inequality with fair taxation on income and wealth, universal benefits, and opportunities for all. Now let us see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's contribution towards the global peace. The Vedic civilization beautifully describes that yastu sarvani bhutani atmani ivana pushyati sarva bhuteshu chatmanam tadona vigupshate. Isha Vasha Upanishad verse 6. Global peace is the byproduct of the individual bliss. Whenever an individual goes through a spiritual bliss, he manifests beautiful, peaceful life for him and everyone around him. If he is powerful enough, he moves the whole city and manifests peace. He is more powerful, he moves the whole village and whole country. If he is powerful enough, like incarnation, he moves the whole world and manifests peace for them. So, global peace is the byproduct of the individual peace. Now, let's watch Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism shares how we get the individual peace by practicing completion, by practicing unclutching, and by practicing taking responsibility.
Nepal,
So
Oman,
let's listen from
Sivagangai,
these few videos, a series of videos that we
Hyderabad,
are going to watch.
Guptakashi. I welcome all of you with my love and respects. In many bodies. Please understand, the more deeper you go inside you, means more deeper space you go inside you, more expanded you become, more one with everything, more oneness you experience. Because the more deeper you go, the more you experience the unified field of consciousness. Various words are used. Some of the Hindu traditions uses the word Atma, Brahman. Some of the Hindu traditions use the word Nirvana. Whatever word you may use, Atman, Brahman, Nirvana, unified field of consciousness, whatever. But one thing I want to tell you, the deeper and deeper you go in your inner space, you experience the vast oneness. The more superficial you are, the more incompletions you carry with others, even with yourself. The more superficial you become, even your own right hand and left hand fights with each other. Different parts of you fights with you. Different thoughts of you fights with you. Even you fight with you, the more superficial you go, the more deeper you start traveling. First, you get integrated. The you fighting with you stops. Then, the people around you get integrated. They fighting with you stops. Completion with yourself, then completion with others, then comes completion with other things, not just living beings, even with inanimate beings. The completion starts happening. Even with the nature, completion starts happening. Please understand, the more deeper you travel, the more deeper you go, the more deeper you settle down, the more deeper you start living. Your cognition expands. Your cognition includes. Your cognition becomes more and more inclusive. More joy, more bliss, more knowledge, more enlightenment. Please understand. The more and more completion happens in you, you will see everyone around you feels complete with you. That is why I am saying, whether they have body or they are disembodied, in the deepest corners of your being, deepermost layers of your being, deepest parts of your being, you experience such powerful awareness, such joy. Deepermost corners of your being, not only is a joy, it's a power. Because suddenly you will see everybody around you, everything around you listens to you. It really becomes a vibrant power where the tendency to exploit is not there. Listen, that's a very important thing. Power without the tendency to exploit. Because as long as you feel the other person is separate from you, when you get the power, it will always be used for exploiting. Because the other person is separate from you, then naturally what you will feel? Let me suck all the possible energy, intelligence, time, talent, treasure. But when you feel the other person is your own extension, you will see, you will be showering so much, enriching so much. The power you have will not be exploiting, it will be enriching. I tell you, even if death comes at this moment, I can tell you very clearly, I can face the death directly and tell the death, I have enriched every human being
more than from anybody. I have given to every human being whom I met in my life more than what I received from them. My accounts is clear. I am ready. Come on, let's go. My accounts is clear. I don't have debt. No credit card money to be paid, loans to be paid, no debit card, no credit card. My accounts is clear. Understand, when you feel everyone is your extension, the power given to you, the power you gain, see, any living is power. Powerful way. Even in that, you will become powerful. So any lifestyle you choose, you will get power in that field. Whether it is exploiting or enriching, murdering or raping or go on serving. Whatever lifestyle you choose, living is power. When you go into the deepermost core of your being and start living based on completion, I tell you, the first power you will experience is everything around you listens to you. That power will simply make you enrich everyone. The best power you can have through living is power of enriching. Whatever you do, as I said, whether you live the life of enriching or exploiting, you will become powerful. I tell you, the power of exploiting brings more and more conflict within and without. And those conflicts naturally bring suffering. And the power of enriching brings more and more completion in you and in others. This full month, Nithyananda Sangha all over the world. The other day I was seeing, we have officially presence in more than 50 countries. As devotees, group of devotees, we have presence in 100 countries. All over the world, we are going to celebrate this whole month for Global Peace Month, impacting global peace. All of us this whole month will live completion and do samskara dahana kriya, means burning the patterns which separates us from others. Burning the patterns which are we will be doing samskara dahana kriya, burning our patterns and leading us to more and more completion.
Sorry for the technical glitch.
And we also have special 3 Nitya Dhyana Yoga program teaching people science of completion and facilitating Samskara Dahana Kriya. This month, 20th, 21st and 22nd, this whole month, all over the world, all our temples, ashrams, centers, yoga centers, schools, colleges, universities should do Samskara Dahana Kriya, should do the practice of burning all the incompletions and patterns which leads to conflicts, bringing more and more peace inside us and outside us, spreading peace. This whole month, let's impact global peace. Let us really contribute to the global peace, not just talking about it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Not just talking about it. Let's do it. Even if you teach the Samskara Dahana Kriya to 50 people in each area, each place where we have centers, ashrams, temples, two-way centers, yoga centers, even 50 people, each Tanidar teaches, enriches them with this science. The amount of suffering and negative vibes reduction can contribute so much to the world. Please understand. One positive person can burn millions people negativity. Experientially, with evidence we proved, one positive person has already burnt at least 20 million people's negativity in last 10 years and brought peace. So each one of you, if you stand up as one positive being, one authentic, responsible, enriching being, I tell you, we can do so much to the world. It will be better place than the time we entered. When we leave, it should be better place. That's all. When we leave the earth, it should be better place. So understand, inner peace is your birthright. Go to the depths of your being. Bring more and more completion into you. Completion with others. And start living Advaita. Today in the Inner Awakening session, it's all about completion with others. So last 6 days, literally, you worked so much, one by one by one by one by one, layer by layer by layer by layer. The completion with yourself. Now comes completion with others. Today, we are starting the science of completion with others. It's one of the most powerful science. Does so much.
to human beings, not just healing their relationships, even inside their consciousness, this inner space, so much of good is done, so much of awakening is done. See, when you have completed with others, the kind of strength you feel is the power of Advaita, strength of Advaita. Today the inner awakening sessions are all about completion with others. We have long session today working on social answer means I'll tell, oh, you should all work for global peace, you should all work for turning the world, you should work for revolution, you should work for all these, that things, you should vote only the party which says that it will stop the war and all these things. This is the social answer. Nonsense. If you want the honest answer, I tell you, simply transform yourself. You can't do anything. If at all you can do, you would have done it. Be honest. If you can do, you would have done it. You are raising this question because you are not able to do. Am I right? So let us be very clear. Let us be honest. We are not able to do socially. That's the truth. That's the reason you are sitting here and raising the question. I tell you, understand few important things. There are a lot more attached to this question. There are many things which is attached to this question. We always feel the present is the world is totally spoiled. It is not going according to the rules or how it is supposed to be. It was wonderful once upon a time. In ancient time, things were going properly. Everything was well and great. And I tell you, 10,000 years ago, they found some writings on stone in Harappa Mohenjo-daro culture. Some stone writings have been discovered. The other day I read a beautiful book about that stone writings. That writings, it says, oh, nowadays the society is not as it should be. So much of war. There is no peace. In the early times, there was so much of peace. Society was really great. Things were as it should be. And it almost looks like a today newspaper editorial. 10,000 years ago, the same thing carved on a stone. Then understand, there was no such time as only good prevailed. It is just a fantasy. Hinduism, they call it Satya Yuga, the age of truth. There was a time only truth prevailed. And every religion, Christianity, they say the Garden of Adam and Eve. There was a time everything was wonderful. Every religion has got the fantasy. The past was great. There was golden past. Always the idea of golden past exists only in the past. The more you go back, again you say the past was great. And I tell you one thing, it is a wonderful way of postponing accepting the reality. Otherwise, I can be sure the world, whether it is 5,000 years ago or 10,000 years ago. Maybe one thing, there was no CNN channel that time. So the news did not reach you so quickly. That's all. The news did not reach you so quickly. That may be the only difference. But otherwise, I can be sure the good and the bad was equal. Good and the bad was equal. The same amount of wars were there. All the other things were there. You read the Puranas, the mythological stories of India, you see enough of things, enough of dirty things. I think sometimes I find a little more. And if you read completely the Puranas or the Hindu scriptures, there are a lot of things much worse than modern day. The criminal activities or bad things or negative things, whatever you say, all this stuff. And never think only present day is corrupted or violent. In the ancient days also, all these things were there. Only one thing was not there, the CNN news or the internet. So the news did not reach you. But otherwise I can tell you, enough the good and bad was there. It always will exist. It will exist. All you can do is, if you awaken yourself, if you reach the enlightenment state, and I tell you, enlightenment is the only service you can do to the society. Just become enlightened so that you will reduce the negativity. Now, as of now, you are also the part of negative group. Naturally, we will be a negative group. As long as we are unenlightened, we will be the part of collective negative consciousness. So if you become enlightened, at least you will reduce your weight. That's the only thing we can do. Nothing else can be done. So all I request you to do is just become enlightened. Realize that you are a lion. That's the only way to help yourself and the society. Otherwise, all revolutions, you see, all revolution again end up as one more tradition. In last 2000 years, 3000 wars have happened in the humanity. In 2000 years, 3000 wars. Human beings have not done anything except doing wars, except fighting. Everybody claims he wants to do revolution. He wants to spread peace. You see, every country claims their army is a defensive army. Then who is offending? Tell me. Every country says defensive army. Then who is offending? These are all just, games. The idea of peace is a pure game. Everybody wants to spread the peace according to them, not according to the other person. They want peace according to them. The other day I was in one interreligious gathering. One guy is preaching, let all of you convert to my religion so that we will not have fight. He wants peace the way in which he wanted, not the way in which. And there's a beautiful saying, the sword of Muhammad, it is written, peace alone should survive, something like that. He has written some statement about the peace on the sword. We all take sword to spread. No revolution is going to help, because in the last 2000 years 3000 revolutions have happened, but still world is same, I think much worse. So no revolution is going to help, only individual evolution is going to help. So be very clear. Instead of working in the outer world, start working in the inner world. That will help you and society some way. Social answer means
listen carefully. The space of Shanti is where Kailasa grows. Listen carefully. It is in the deep powerfulness of peace, or peace-centered powerfulness is the ground, breeding ground for Paramashivatva to manifest. Please understand. Like how pure mirror reflects everything, pure Shanti-based Shakti, peace-based powerfulness reflects Paramashiva. Paramashiva manifests in peace-based powerfulness. Please understand. Neither violence nor powerlessness
Powerlessness is weakness. Violence is abusive. Peace-centered powerfulness. Powerfulness-centered peace. All the Upanishads starts with peace, completes with peace. Shanti mantra. Starts with Shanti mantra, gets completed with Shanti mantra. Peace-based powerfulness is a fundamental requirement for Paramashivatva to manifest. That is why people who don't want us to manifest Paramashivatva or power manifestation do not want to allow the peace in our life or do not want peace in our campus. Understand? But only if you are peaceful, which cannot be shaken even by the demons and devils and rakshasas, we can be in eternal peace. So, remember this very clearly. Peace alters the very DNA structure, genetic structure, the core Anu Mahat structure. Understand? Anoraniyan Mahato Mahiyan. The consciousness in you is atom inside the atom, Mahat, more than Mahat. That Anoraniyan Mahato Mahiyan. That consciousness starts growing in you with more and more peace-based powerfulness developing in you. Nothing can be compared to unclutching. Spend more and more time, energy in unclutching. It will never be wasted. Time spent on unclutching is the most productive time for you in your life, because unclutching completely makes you altogether a different material. Understand? It makes your very biomemory, muscle memory, core structure, molecular structure, genetic structure, DNA structure, everything. All the 8 energy flow circuits, 7 energy flows, 1 the pure conscious explosion. So totally 8 energy flow circuits exist in you. All the 8 explodes when you unclutch. Understand? Unclutching is the space.
So now, let us see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism contributions for the global peace. The Sovereign Order of Kailasa, led by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and Nithyananda Order of Monks, Nuns, and Hindu Diaspora, are working for global peace and to give a super consciousness breakthrough to humanity. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism working from the very grassroots level to usher in an era of peace at all levels, individual, societal, national, and global. His deep insights into the workings of the human mind, body, emotions have enabled him to powerfully and directly address various social and emotional problems facing humanity today. Some of the ways that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism provide spiritual solutions to combat the pandemic and other issues. Since the beginning of the global lockdown, and the amount of contribution and activism of Kailasa has increased multifold through the Paramashivoham program, bringing super consciousness breakthrough to the whole humanity. By starting the Akhanda Nirvikalpa Samadhi Jnana Yajna and contributing almost 3 billion minutes so far. Paramashiva Sankalpa chanting, that is sacred Sanskrit mantra chanting to heal the world via Zoom sessions 24/7. Spiritual healing to one and all 24/7, helping humanity to cope up with insecurity, fear, disease by empowering individuals to heal themselves, learn, cope up the emotions like depression and spiritual healing to one and all 24/7 and helping humanity to cope up with insecurity, fear, disease, and empowering individuals to heal themselves and learn to cope up with emotions like depression and tough situations in relationship, providing alternative solutions to worldly problems through power manifestation. Now we have the live satsang at 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time. Now let's get prepared for the, and followed by the Sundareshwara Saibhya Samadhi Bhava Samadhi Darshan. So let's get prepared for the Bhava Samadhi Darshan and the live satsang. Bhava Samadhi Darshan is manifesting the divine with the supreme pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam. Bhava Samadhi Darshan is not an event in space and time. Rather, darshan happens at the moment when we are lifted out of space and time. During the Bhava Samadhi Darshan, our neurons mirror that of the avatar. Bhava is defined as directing and activating the emotional and spiritual energy that is created through meditation on the avatar. The brain, neurons mirror, activate, and process all the observed movements or information of the avatar just by seeing and without the physical act of imitation. That is, our intelligently and without movement recreates what is happening distances far away, experiencing the super consciousness energy by the avatar. The science of Bhava Samadhi Darshan knows no distance, a phenomenon modern science is just discovering and terms as quantum tunneling. What is quantum tunneling? Our thoughts per second reduces significantly and we relax into the space beyond thoughts. That means we experience thoughtlessness, becoming mentally at ease in coexisting dimensions beyond duality. That means we and the divine become one, unconditioned by the parameters of time and space. The quantum tunneling is like this. It is probability of a quantum particle like an electron with less kinetic energy to cross over the potential energy of an energy barrier. An electron acts both as a wave and a particle. Imagine a scenario. What happens when an electron with less kinetic energy is approaching a hill? Will the electron be able to cross over the potential energy or peak of the hill? And as a particle, the electron will require higher kinetic energy to cross over the potential energy of the hill, or it will roll back. However, as a wave, the electron has the ability to pass through by propagating itself through the hill and go to the other side. That is the science behind quantum tunneling. The same science is imposed on people who witness the Bhava Darshan. That is because our neurons are able to mirror the neurons of the divine immediately. Through quantum tunneling, we are able to travel through the divine energy and mirror the exact same neurons. Science of Bhava Samadhi Darshan. There is a beautiful Apta Pramana by the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his book Chaitanya Charitamrita in chapter 4. Describes how Krishna was enchanted by his own extraordinary sweetness of his form. When Krishna once saw his own extraordinary sweetness reflected in a jeweled wall, he was amazed and said, "How unprecedented and astonishing is this deep and indescribable sweetness of mine. Alas, when I see it, even I become greedy to enjoy its sweetness, just like Radhika. When I see my own sweetness in the mirror, I become eager to taste it, but I cannot. After due consideration, I find that the only way to release this sweetness is to the constitution of Sri Radhika." Bhava Samadhi Darshan is the science of a Nija avatar manifesting Paramashiva, the consciousness which is formless, expresses the being of Paramashiva through the Divya Sharira, that is light body, and manifests as Nija avatar, that means physical embodied form, for us to experience the Paramashiva. The beautiful pramana from Malini Vijayottava Tantra, verse 60, it says, by the enlightened teachings of the Guru, Khatana, by the Shaktipata, the graceful transmission of the spiritual powers from the Guru, by looking at the sacred feet of the Guru, or by the complete loving favor of the Guru, Guru Prasada, the ultimate goal and space, Paramam Padam, is attained. Devi Parashakti expresses through the being of Rajarajeshwari and manifests as Nija avatar, the physical form, as Devi Meenakshi. Bhagwan Paramashiva expresses through the being of Subramanya and manifests as Nija avatar, that is the physical form, that is Bhagwan Muruga. And Bhagwan Paramashiva expresses the being of Arunagiri Yogeshwara and manifests as Nija avatar, that is physical form, as Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam. Bhagwan Parandhama expresses the being of Mahavishnu and manifests as Nija avatar, the physical form, as Bhagwan Venkateshwara. The Archavatar, which is usually the temple deity, reflects the consciousness and manifestation, the being of the superconsciousness energy. But the human beings are not mature enough to receive the higher level experiences from the Achyavatar directly. So the avatar, the physical embodied form, comes down to bridge this gap and create experience of the super consciousness energy in all of us. When we have the Bhava Samadhi Darshan of manifesting beings of various dimensions of Paramashiva, the auspicious components and the powerfulness of those dimensions of Paramashiva are awakened in us. The dimension of Paramashiva manifesting in the Nija avatar for us to experience the same is Bhava Samadhi Darshan. Bhava Samadhi Darshan is the direct experience of causeless bliss. During the Bhava Samadhi Darshan, our being comes alive and celebrates with the energy wave of existence. Our very muscles learn to imbibe and radiate Paramashiva. Bhava Samadhi Darshan is like a window to the infinite expanse of consciousness, allowing us to glimpse the formless in a way that we can understand. Even without much effort from our side, our very biomemory awakens to the space of Paramashiva, the ultimate consciousness during the Bhava Samadhi Darshan. Now it's time to receive the grace and presence of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Let's get ready. Please sit straight with your head, neck, and back straight. Inhale deeply, exhale deeply. Intensely connect with the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and sit with the deep space of gratitude. And with that space of gratitude, let's start chanting the Mahavakya. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Continue to chant the Mahavakya and sit with a deep space of gratitude, and let us receive the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism for the live satsang followed by the Bhagwan Sundareshwara Sayudhya Samadhi Bhava Samadhi Darshan.